when the drama spills into sports. We love this.
And what do you mean?
Meaning, like when there's a drama story, like we were talking this morning about what's his name, Steve Smith's senior. We love this.
Oh, brother, let me tell you something. Not only do I just love it on a personal level, it is so good for business. That guy is crazy though. The dude who put himself on blast like that.
We really
who's
thought
now running like he deleted his whole account and everything because I'm pretty sure he's like bordering on some probably illegal shit.
He's like the reality stars we're just referring to.
Right.
Like, you sure you want to take this public and see how the world reacts?
He was like, that was not like he did it and then was like, oh, wait a minute. People were like, yo, you should not do this. And like, it's embarrassing for you. And he replied being like, the world's going to remember Steve Smith fucking my wife a lot longer than they're going to remember me, which is true. No one's going to remember his name. But but that's not a reason to do this. And so that was his initial thought. And now by like yesterday, he deleted his account and everyone was kind of like, this is kind of like revenge porn. You're like breaking into people's accounts. You're doing a whole bunch of shit that's like
recording their phone conversations.
I don't know what the rules are.
Phone calls?
He called Steve Smith and recorded the phone call. Which,
I didn't see
there's
that.
that one party, two party thing in certain states. You have to like tell the person you're recording.
And the phone call is hilarious because he's like, you knew she was married, and Steve Smith just goes like, sorry.
He goes, what do you have to say for yourself? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Steve Smith has to be a veteran of that game.
Oh yeah.
Like how many husbands have caught their wives cheating on them with Steve Smith?
Yeah.
A good amount. A good amount.
Like without saying it, he was basically like, you should probably talk to your wife about this.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not
This doesn't
gonna,
involve me at all.
I'm not going to make you feel
and
better.
then you know what the worst was? A picture of the girl finally surfaced. And she actually is a hot chick.
Yeah.
Relatively speaking. But the one picture was like she was at a football game. She wasn't dolled up. She had like a beanie on. It just wasn't a great picture. And man, the comments were just someone was like, she's built for endurance. So she said she's built for endurance, not luxury. And I was like, oh. Someone called her a mid-white. I mean, it's the meanest shit. That's
it's
like
dehumanizing.
Oh,
You feel like
it really is.
when the internet
that was the one. I mean, she's prettier than that, but that was the one.
She
that
looks like
everyone
a
was
lovely
what the fuck?
person.
Yeah.
But also the problem is that before people saw that photo, they saw a text that she had sent where she told Steve Smith that he had rearranged her IUD.
Legitimately, I swear to God, I'm not just saying this for effect. I would rather walk in on someone fucking my wife and like see it than even just have that text be out there. Like, I would almost rather she actually cheats versus that text is out there and I'm known as the guy.
I would agree with that.
I would agree
It's
with
like
that.
the monster in a movie. Like,
Yeah.
Like I saw it. All right.
I know. It's as bad as it gets.
I saw it.
Yeah.
Right.
Now I can go forward. But
there's something
the
scarier.
whole world.
There's something scarier about Michael Myers.
Right.
Lurking in the shadows than Jason Voorhees with his machete.
Yes. And deep is an understatement. It felt like you were going to rearrange my IUD. And
You were so deep. And then she writes,
LOL. Winky face emoji.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that, like, to even if you were like, I'm going to put you on blast, like, leave that one out.
Yeah, I
Just
wouldn't.
crop that one, bro.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's insane because you're right, because there's something about like, oh, you got carried away in, you can convince yourself she got carried away in a moment of this physical, like, this is like I'm just living my day-to-day life going, you know what? I should text Steve Smith.
Rearrange my guts, man.
Yeah.
His selfies were insane too.
Oh,
like
crazy.
when you're like that picture that's such a like I'm a multimillionaire and I've been
doesn't
awesome my
matter.
whole life.
Yeah.
Because like I we've joked in the past like, oh, if your nudes leaked, if your sex leaked, like that's my A1 game. So I'd rather you see that. Steve Smith's like, I don't really give a shit.
Yeah. I just realized what that picture looks like. That picture looks like the Ricky Gervais bathtub photo.
Yeah. Someone said the kid they like pray for my cousin, y'all, nothing wrong with him. He just looked like a honey bun.
But you know what? Dude. No matter how unflattering that selfie is, he's like, that's the Ricky Gervais. But you know what? No matter how unflattering that selfie is, if what's right under it is a text, about the IUD thing.
Doesn't matter.
You know what?
Oh, I didn't
right
realize
there.
it was the same one.
Right there. He's like,
Dude, to send a text, turn you over, and get deep inside you with that face is so fucking cocky. I love
nuts.
it. That's the best game somehow I've ever seen in my life.
like that's a guy that you don't call looking for an apology from, because he does not give a fuck.
That's literally the face on the other side of the phone you're talking to. Like he's sitting exactly like that.
That guy being like, he was like, come on, man, like, you know, you fuck somebody's wife and now you've got me on the phone. Like, say something. It's like, I don't think he cares, bro.
I don't care.
I don't think he like didn't know and now is like, oh no. I think he's like, I'm fucking this guy's wife.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a wife and 4 kids.
know,
He's got his own
bro.
problems.
I know, that shit is ugly, man. That's
But
crazy.
you know, I mean, with that face, it doesn't seem concerned about much.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
that's
just-
the game, bro.
he's just living his life.
I'm pretty sure that like he has probably fucked everybody from like Baltimore to North Carolina, like that whole area.
Yeah.
You wonder if his wife is just like, yeah,
Right, like,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
I work for the Ravens or whatever. You know,
At this
is
point-
how it works. You know?
yeah.
And then he did like a public appearance last night too, right?
Did he?
Man.
I don't know for sure, but I thought he like led the Ravens band last night.
Well, that's what
Or 2
she's
nights
like
ago.
a part of the
She's in the band.
band.
Oh, okay. So maybe it was an old video
thing,
or something
yeah,
like
makes
that.
sense.
That
That
must have been
makes
what it was.
sense.
That'd be
Okay.
great if he did, though. Just to be like,
Just don't give a
we're getting
fuck.
in front of this.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's not talk about the old stuff. It's like, it just happened today. Nah,
24 hours old.
See, being the
24 hours.
conductor, that was pretty good.
I was like, it's Monday. That's like a weekend thing. We're not really going to talk about that. Okay, Steve. The husband's just losing his mind.
Yeah, like he's not gonna like win this. You know what I mean?
No.
Like, there's no like, good outcome.
No, you also like, you can, especially when the dude is a professional athlete. We
just talked about it. Like when you're a professional athlete, like you just win. You, know
You
what I
win.
mean? Yeah.
You can't get mad if you're the husband. You can't get mad at the dude.
I never really understood that.
Yeah, I mean, like emotionally, of course, you're gonna have feelings.
Somebody
but
told me this. I don't know if it's true or not, but somebody told me in North Carolina you actually can. There's like legal recourse against the person who like breaks up your marriage. I don't know if that's true or not. I heard it like
Really?
third hand because I think they are, or he at least played in North Carolina or whatever. So I don't know where this is taking place. Because I was saying like, you know, it's scummy, but like the person who you have the problem with is your spouse. But someone was like, no, you can see that person. I don't know if that's true or not.
But
That's
if you
a little
can,
far-fetched.
I mean, people always say like they avoid lawsuits because of discovery.
Yeah,
I can't
let's
imagine.
open these books.
Every text being out there open to the public, maybe you just take the out. You know what I mean? Like, don't even worry about it.
That's that Blake Lively and Baldoni shit. It's like, you want to go down this road? They're opening up every fucking message.
That's another one that I tried to talk to my audience about, and I was literally getting phone calls going,
Shut the fuck
"Why
up.
the fuck are you talking about this?"
I get that. He's the same way. He's like, I don't want to hear about this anymore. But I think there's something very interesting about like, at the end of the day, they're really doing this like to take over a movie franchise,
Right.
and that to me is like a valid business.
It's not that I
entertainment.
don't want to hear about it. It's just I can't comprehend how they don't want to figure it out by themselves.
It's insane.
That's what I
True.
don't get. Like
And
both
there
of them
are-
having like a statement one day, and then the next group has a statement the next day. I'm like,
Yeah.
don't you 3 or 4 or whatever just want to go behind closed doors and just talk, and then come out and tell us the deal?
Yeah.
And there's also so many elements to all that you're going, I shouldn't have this information.
Yeah, we,
Right.
we
Why
know
do I-
too much about each other.
Yeah,
man.
like I don't want to have it.
Right.
I
They're talking
shouldn't
about
have it.
Blake Lively breastfeeding and like
Yeah, what?
arguing about her weight and shit. I'm like, what is this?
Although
But when someone's like, I mean, that guy's fucking life is basically on the line. His reputation, it's
Yeah.
his actual sexual harassment charge. It's like all fucking made up. That's kind of crazy.
daily receipt drop. Here's more receipts. Here's my raw
When you
footage
got-
from the
when
And
movie.
then they're like, well,
Nothing
he
to hide.
edited those ones, and then
Yeah.
they put out these ones. Like, well, they edited those ones. It's like, just go talk to each other. God damn.
I also did think it was interesting that we had a first-hand account of a Taylor Swift Hollywood Mafia situation. Did you
No.
know about that part of it?
Well, I know she said like that's my Khaleesi or whatever, right?
Right, because and they're gonna get mad at me again. I don't care because to me, we have evidence of a Hollywood Mafia, and we need to talk about this. It's very interesting to me. You know, we don't deal with this in our day to day. But they said that Blake Lively had Justin go over to her house because she had rewritten one of the scenes, and when Justin got there, Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds were there, and they sat down.
They said, kiss the ring.
Yeah. They sat down with Justin Baldoni, and they were like, hey, we really think Blake's rewrites are better. Don't you think so? And it was like, whoa. You know what I mean? Like the fact that like Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds are putting on the pressure.
Taylor Swift's gonna end up having like Blake Lively killed, so that this doesn't go to a courtroom. Like I am not getting involved with this.
Taylor Swift doesn't want to be involved in this. She's like, everybody loves Taylor Swift.
And I understand what you're saying, but I also think there's some part of Blake Lively being like Taylor Swift, and she's kind of like
totally.
I mean, we're just like friends. I'm not like, you know what I mean? She's
wouldn't
this picture of like she, makes all the decisions for this movie. It's like, oh, wait a second.
That's my best friend.
Right.
Like we hung out once last year.
3 of her kids, Taylor Swift's the godmother. That's a little. That's like that's like
weird.
you're trying to make. Like you want to be the godfather? You want to be again?
This one too?
Yeah, it's like you just want to be connected to Taylor Swift.
I mean, you probably should mix it up with the godmothers,
dude.
Right?
Everybody does that. It's this uncle, that aunt, this brother, that sister. You don't just pick a celebrity and
you'll all live with Taylor Swift if something happens to me.
Taylor should make it clear. I'm not taking any of it.
I'm a figurehead only.
I'll put him in a song, but I'm not taking any.
You mean like a ceremonial godmother, right? Not, And
I don't know for sure. I think the craziest part is I think they have 4 kids. It's only 3. Which is really weird.
Yeah. And then I also was getting very intrigued because I had kind of totally forgotten about Bullygate because it was like 12 years old or whatever. The thing on the Dolphins when with Richie Incognito.
Yeah. He was like recently completely exonerated, right?
Well,
not completely, but it was like
so. Jonathan Martin is the guy. So it was like Jonathan Martin. It was kind of when I saw what like the prank was, I was like, that's actually kind of a funny thing to do to somebody.
What was the prank?
So they have like the whole Dolphins team is eating, and they were like, hey Jonathan, come join us. And he's like, oh great, I'm sitting by myself, let me come join them. And he sits down at the table with them. They all stand up and leave.
Classic ditching.
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah, it's one of the best. It's one of the best.
We used to just run away from people all the time. We were all on the count of 3. Let's run away from John, and we would just leave him there.
Kick your bike over, I'd be gone. Yeah. You wouldn't see me for 20 minutes.
I mean, do you know the joy that would come across me when we all, like a group of us would be out eating and one person after we got the check would be like, I'm just going to use the bathroom before we leave. Oh my God. He's going to go to the bathroom. We can all leave. He's going to come back to an empty table. This is going to be great. Okay, go to the bathroom. You're like, please go, please go, please go. Yeah. But I guess he said there was like Richie Incognito was like leaving voicemails and sending texts and everything. So he said he was being bullied. And then he said that he had to leave for mental counseling.
Yeah.
Right? And then his mother started talking about how her son was being bullied by the Dolphins.
Jesus
which is always what you need.
Yeah, that makes the situation better.
Way better. And so the NFL did an investigation into the bullying. And they were like, yep, bullying for sure. And Richie Incognito got I think he was benched for a season and a half.
Yeah, it was a long time.
It was a long time. It was like the rest of that season, and then it was the rest of that season during the investigation, and then when they were like, yup, you're a bully, it was the next season as well.
Did he ever play for the Dolphins again? Because he went to Buffalo after that, and then the Raiders for a bit, I think.
I think you're right. Yeah,
this was also prime, you get suspended for a game if you beat your wife. NFL,
yeah.
Right? Like it was that era.
Not even.
Yeah, right. It was like a game check maybe, and he lost 2 years of his career.
Yeah. And now just out of nowhere, Jonathan Martin was doing an interview with ESPN, and they were like, man, it's been a while. Let's catch up with this Bullygate thing.
Bro, take that to the grave.
Right? Yeah. Jonathan Martin was like, oh, I'm glad you brought that up. I've been trying to clear that up for a while. I never felt bullied. I'm glad I've been trying to clear this up.
Where have you been trying to clear it up?
Yeah.
Send a tweet. That's it.
I can't imagine the reporter going, what?
Yeah.
What? What are you never felt ever? No, I never did. He was like, it was mainly, he goes, I don't know. He was like, the NFL investigation was Jonathan Martin said that the investigation was like a clown show.
The fact that they even call it the Ted Wells investigation, like it's the fucking Warren Commission. What are we talking about here?
And then he said it was mainly my mom pushing that narrative.
Dude.
What are you doing? Because part of me was going, maybe he's just now saying, I didn't consider it bullying because he wants to, because it's kind of humiliating to be an adult.
Yeah.
Bully victim, right?
Yeah.
So maybe he's saying no, I didn't really think it was bullying. But when you say it was mainly my mom who said it was bullying, it's like, this is worse.
The worst. The only thing worse is if your mom sends a text to somebody saying you rearranged my IUD. The only way it could get worse.
That would be worse. So now Richie Incognito has been going nuts.
Now, to be fair,
on Twitter,
Richie Incognito is for sure a bully. like you look at him, you see him. He did send those like texts and voice messages that were like, "You big pussy." Like he's a big bully.
I'm reading all these articles, right? And they were like, yeah, they said that it was like threatening text message that were also like racist and voicemails. And then the sort of like Richie Incognito did nothing wrong is just Jonathan Martin saying, "Well, I never felt bullied." Like the text and voicemails definitely still exist.
But it was like you fat bitch, right? Yeah, no fucking. I don't know. It's like there's gonna be bullies in the NFL, and I mean, if you were to draw like a cartoon bully, it would be Richie Incognito. Like Richie Incognito might be a nice guy who looks at himself in the mirror. And he goes, "I gotta bully people today. Like I don't have a choice.
Like I see the back of someone's head, I have to smack it. Like I can't not.
I'm throwing your lunch tray in the garbage. I have to do this."
And by the way, luckily I'm an NFL football player, so that's the one.
You know what? Give him a podcast. Incognito report. Here we go.
You said you tried to ruin my career over a lie. A decade later, yeah, he's going. Which is the reporter that he's going after hard?
Florio, I think.
Yeah,
a big part of it. Yeah, Pro Football.
Also, I'd like to point out Ted Wells also did the Deflategate investigation. Just saying.
This man has no credibility.
Yeah, let's go back and look at all of his investigations.
Right. It's like, I've been watching House of Cards recently, and there's a Supreme Court justice who wants to retire because he has dementia.
You thought now he's like, I got to start watching these spacey shows. You're like,
this
now
guy's great.
If I'm going to tell you the truth about House of Cards, I recently did a rewatch and decided to keep it to myself.
Dude, I was in D.C. and like the second I was in D.C., I could just play the House of Cards theme in my head.
It's a great show, man.
Yeah. It's a great show that got bad fast. Way faster than we remember.
Yes.
When he became president.
Yep. I was going to say, by season 3, it sucked.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Even
before he left, it was bad.
Yeah, it was not great.
Yeah, season 1 was excellent.
That really, I mean, that I think without that show, I don't know where, like, that was the first Netflix, like, scripted, drama that, like, probably
I think
launched
Spacey has
ships.
recently said, he's like, I built Netflix.
Yeah, well,
which is a cocky move. Not totally incorrect.
Bro, I mean, the Netflix dong dong is him hitting the table.
Oh,
in House
really?
of Cards. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You got a really good claim. Like, I made your fucking thing.
And they're like, well, okay, good for you.
Yeah. See you later.
Thanks
rapist.
a lot.
Cool.
We're gonna go
make
work
another
with
iMovie. But yeah, so you were watching House of Cards, you said.
There's a justice. I think it's like season 4, so everyone probably stopped watching by then. But like he wants to retire because he's got dementia, and Spacey's like, you got to retire.
Oh yeah,
because,
I remember that.
Like then they're gonna start going through all your cases. We should do that with Ted Wells.
You think now
that this one has been made completely false, let's go through all of them.
Yeah. This feels like not so much a Richie Incognito problem, mainly a Ted Wells problem.
Yeah. That's what I want us all to really focus on with this story.
Yeah. I could see Richie Incognito trying to push this off into like a podcast or YouTube or like,
for sure.
Like
an anti-bullying inception thing.
Yeah, I can see that.
Justice for the bully.
I mean, John Rocker just made a comeback on social media.
What happened? We cancel our fight?
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, I think Mahomes' agent stepped in and was like, absolutely not.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Is that right?
John Rocker was supposed to fight Patrick Mahomes
I know
Sr.
we were talking about it because Patrick Mahomes Sr. had to tell his parole officer that they fixed that the fight in New Orleans was fake.
Did he really?
Yeah, we were like, oh shit, John Rocker and Mahomes Sr. just getting into it on the Bourbon Street, and then TMZ was like, yeah, Mahomes Sr. had to tell his lawyer or parole officer or whoever, that, this was staged because we're doing a Barstool fight.
That's a great like cop out, like he gets caught on camera like smoking crack. No, it was a fake. It was fake.
Rough and rowdy.
But honestly,
that's canceled now. That fight's not happening.
As far as I understand, yes.
Now this is gonna sound crazy because the guy has a $500 million contract and multiple Super Bowls, but poor Patrick Mahomes, and he's just got to wrangle all of these assholes in his family. My annoying wife, my fucking creepy brother, my drunk dad. Like everybody, just go home and here's money. Like go away.
Can you imagine your escape? Your escape when it's like finally everything has calmed down is playing Super Bowl high level football. Like being a Super Bowl level quarterback.
Everything else melts away when I got to play in the Super Bowl.
I could just look at Kelsey over there. We could just play this game. Pray to God we go into overtime because I do not want to go back into reality. I mean, that's so.
Hey, Patrick, what motivates you? It's like getting out of the fucking house.
Yeah, for all of us, the pressure of being any level NFL quarterback would, crush us.
Implode.
You know what I mean? Like, we'd be like, this is hell on earth. For him, it's like it's the only thing.
I was thinking about this the other day. We have a thing at Barstool called The Dozen, The Dozen, which is like a trivia show. Everybody at Barstool pairs up with 3 people, and you answer questions about pop culture and sports. And there are when you get down to the final questions and it's a close game, I will get nervous playing work league trivia. And I think about the guy who's like, we got a minute left and I got to drive down the field against the biggest, meanest humans in the world. And they just do it. And I'm like, wait, is that Susan Sarandon or Sigourney Weaver?
Well, you guys are the best. KFC and Feitelberg.
Shit.
Yeah. That was an hour?
That was an hour.
Heavens to Betsy.
That's right. Well, heavens to Betsy, you can expect some of that language on KFC Radio. Available every Tuesday and Thursday. If you haven't, I'm sure you've checked it out, but if you haven't, they have great comedians and all kinds of stuff on there all the time. And Kevin's going to be talking about, he said, the traders mainly going forward.
That's it.
That's mainly going to be
the traders guy now.
the traders, and they're going to be doing weekly updates on Baldoni and Blake Lively. So